Hey guys, so let's talk about my COVID vaccine experience. So I've taken my first jab of AstraZeneca. It's probably 9 days, about 9 to 10 days now, and just wanted to share my experience. Some of you guys might be able to relate, some of you guys might not, but end of the day, if this would be a good experience sharing, storytelling, and if this can motivate you guys, that's obviously a good news to get the vaccine. So I live in Sydney, Australia, and I have a pretty big travel coming up shortly, which at some point I might actually share with you guys. But so because of all of these, and also the outbreak, I'm a I don't have any problem with the vaccine. So and I wanted to get the vaccine, but the rule in here was at, before probably about a month before, a month ago, that you can only get the vaccine if you 40 or 40 plus, and then obviously they have that sort of threshold to get the vaccination. So suddenly at one point the prime minister actually declared that people below 40 can actually go and get the vaccine, but it has to be AstraZeneca. We have Pfizer in here, but which is not a great amount of supply, and we have AstraZeneca. That's all we pretty much have. So I was pretty happy to hear that yes, now I can actually go to my local GP or local mass vaccination center and just get the jab. Um, so and also the country that I'm actually planning to go, they also require you to be fully vaccinated, so that you can avoid the hotel quarantine and other quarantine measures. So anyway, that's not the important fact in here. So I was happy. I was happy, and I didn't need to convince myself to get the vaccine. I know there are a lot of things going around in the in the social media, especially in other places. You hear that the vaccination is a scam, or they will put a microchip in your body, and so that they can control you. You will become a robot. You will become zombies, and all of this other garbage. But anyway, I don't believe none of them. So anyway, it's a disease. It came. It's new. You need a vaccination. There's no guarantee that if you get the vaccination, you're gonna be absolutely 100% fine. But there is a high chance. So it doesn't matter to me. So I went and yeah. So I decided to get my vaccination, right? So I booked, obviously registered, did my registration, and yeah. So the day was on Wednesday. And so I went there. Um, had a small talk with the doctor. That's a prerequisite. You need to speak to the doctor. The doctor will be asking you some basic questions. If you have any health concern, if you any um, you know any issues you have with your health, like allergies or previous chronic disease and things like that. So obviously, fortunate enough that I never actually had anything like that, and I was ready. So I went to the nurse room. I was ready for my vaccination, and I was not even nervous, nothing at all. So I went. I'm not a big fan of needles, but that doesn't mean that I was nervous about the vaccine itself. So I went. She gave the vaccine. It's literally like a 1 second. It's a small vaccine. I had my vitamin D before, which is much more painful. So this was literally nothing in terms of pain, in terms of any other complications. So everything was fine. 2 minutes gone, probably a minute and a half or 2 minutes gone, and then suddenly I felt that I'm falling down. I'm feeling very dizzy. I can't see anything. I can hear barely. That the sounds and people's talking, coming, that noise coming from very far. It felt like to me in that way, and that's all I can remember. And then after that, to me it felt like 30 seconds. But anyway, I discovered when I actually, I was awake. I discovered myself on the floor, and about quite a few doctors, around me, and the nurse, and I'm laying down, a pillow underneath my head, my legs up, and slowly I'm sort of questioning myself, what is going on with me. So anyway, um, I'll fast forward a little bit and then I'll explain what happened, because I've heard from them, because obviously I had no idea what went with me. So after I feeling I felt a little bit better, I sort of asked them the question that, what happened, what is going on with me, why am I on the floor. So what they told me is that I had an anaphylactic shock, which can happen. It's not necessarily because of this vaccination. It can happen, it can happen from even bees. If a bee sting you, it can happen from that as well. Everyone's body is different. Everyone's immune system is different. Everyone's, our in our body and physics system is very, very different. Everyone's unique. So it happened to me. That episode happened to me. So anyway, I had an anaphylactic shock. That's why I was unconscious. I don't even want to say unconscious, because I could barely hear them. That's the only thing was working. I could hear them. But obviously I had no idea what they were talking about, but I could hear the noise. That's all I can remember. So I had an anaphylactic shock, and they had to give me adrenaline shot, because my BP, my blood pressure was dropping significantly. So I had to get a shot from the nurse, adrenaline shot. That sort of helped me to wake up again. Yeah, and obviously they have some policy that they need to follow. They call the paramedics and the whole thing. But obviously thankfully paramedic didn't need to come. I didn't need to go to hospital. I was pretty much fine after. So that episode was about 10 minutes, right? About 8 to 10 minutes, 8 to 12 minutes, let's say. I can't remember exactly how long I was in that state. But anyway, so after that I sort of I didn't even feel that they gave me a adrenaline shot in my leg. So I got up, obviously sat down, and I'm fine. Like, I have no problem. I could talk, and I was telling them, not to convince them, but I was telling them, look, I'm genuinely fine. I can stand up. They had the blood pressure, the band in my hand, my pulse. What's that? To check your pulse on my finger. So they had that as well, just to make sure that everything is fine, and everything was fine. Check my BP. My BP was fine as well. Heart rate, everything is fine. And I was telling them that, look, physically, I felt nothing happened. I felt at that time as if like nothing ever happened to me. I was fine. Only thing was happening to me was I was sweating. So anyway, I sat down there for almost about 30-40 minutes, just to make sure that I am genuinely fine and nothing happens again. So that's it. And then I walked home. I literally walked home. It's like 10 minutes away from my house. So I walked back home. Just want to, I guess, mention a couple points in here. What happened to me, I guess, I don't know how many people will be watching this video, but just to give you guys a little bit of insight from my reading, from my sort of, after the fact research and whatnot. This is a rare case. Not everyone will be going through this. And I'm still well. I'm recording, I'm making the video. Even if you have this, it's fine. It's not a big problem. They actually gave me the vaccine. They didn't give me anything else. Just get the vaccine. Okay, get the job done. So that's my pre-vaccine and during the vaccination time, right? So I obviously, came back home, had a shower, felt much better. I had a huge pain from the adrenaline shot in my leg, which they actually mentioned to me that, look, you're gonna be having some pain for at least 24 hours to 36 hours. But the pain was that the adrenaline shot pain was actually gone, next day morning. I was fine. Genuinely, I was fine. I didn't have any pain. However, I had pain in the place that I had the vaccine in my hand, in my arm, for about 2 days. It's pretty obvious, I guess. If you have a sort of vaccine, you're gonna have that pain in that area. Which is absolutely fine. It's nothing crazy. I think I took one paracetamol. That's about it. Um, and from the next day, or maybe after 24 hours, I had this. Actually, my bad. So the next day, only side effect I was having was I was feeling very lethargic. I was feeling very not tired, but I was feeling I don't feel like doing anything. I was feeling a little bit weak, a little bit tired, a little bit of just not wanting to do things. So I was feeling that. The day after, so the third day, I was having a bit of cold and flu. Not cold, but I was having a bit of flu symptom, like a little bit of fever, temperature, a little bit. Not again, nothing severe, nothing crazy. Just a slight, fever, bit of headache, bit of runny nose, bit of cough. And then from I think the fifth days, I think from the fifth days I was absolutely fine. Only thing I have now is a bit of cough, which I'm generally not too worried about. Yeah, that's it. That's just wanted to share my experience. And yeah, I know that anaphylactic shock episode is a rare one. Probably you haven't heard much, or probably you have. But even if you have, like I said, you can do your own research before you take the vaccine. It can happen. It can happen from many different things. Nothing to do with just the vaccine. Just the vaccine. It can cause this shock that might make you faint. Again, also, what I found that this can also happen much later. To say, for example, you have the vaccine, at 1 o'clock, and this might happen, 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock. For me, it happened, in third minute, literally in third minute. But then again, this thing is very very rare, very rare. So don't be scared of the vaccine. If you really haven't had the vaccination, just get the vaccination. I have many friends, and none of them actually had any sort of crazy, not crazy, but this awkward, this rare side effect like me. So I can literally say that this is absolutely fine. I'm ready to get my second one, probably a month, probably a month or month and a half time. And yeah, I'll probably update you guys, what happened in that case. Should be fine. I have read that if you have this kind of thing in the first dose, second dose is literally nothing. You're just gonna be having a bit of pain in that area that you get the vaccine. That's about it. But again, like I said, everyone is very different. Everyone's body, everyone's internal system is very different. Immune system is very different. The way body react is very different. So anyway, that's it. I don't wanna dragging it too long. One last message: if you haven't had the vaccination done, just get the vaccine. You need it. That's it. So I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for listening.